Special meeting that they had.
No, we had more than 12. I would say 18. And then 18. 10 between the two.
Oh, DC.
Yeah, between 14 or the rowdy. So 28, 29, 30. Yeah. So, is this round up to 45 hours?
45 hours community.
45 hours service that we do community or non-emergency students.
Behind the scenes, they have.
There you go.
I take everything.
It is.
Sorry.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of the minutes from the last several meetings. All in favor? Need a motion for approval of the claims and payroll for 8/11. All in favor? Town managers report.
Rip raff was placed to secure the culvert by 219 Creek Drive. That was washing away. We replaced the sewer at Preble Street. Roots were in the main, and we cleaned up the area around the sewer main. We we did the plumbing on East Car Lift Station inside the valve vault. A new meter was placed at the firehouse. It fixed the water leak at Lakeview and East Car. There was a bad corp stop, and that's the manufacturer's fault. Replaced the setter and water meter at Ripley Crossing. Now the meter is by the main and away from the building, which is better for us because then they take over the line to the building. Airport Road water line. I would recommend that the board accept the contract for the two residents to move them to Hoosier Hills water main, turn off that 2-inch line because we did chlorine test, it came positive. We did fluoride test, it was positive, and a pressure test. The pressure started at 50 pounds PSI, and within 1 minute, 50 seconds, it was down to 20 PSI. I ran it past Lori and the contractor, and they said, you definitely got a leak out there. And then Lori said that the water rights can still be obtained by Mylan, but they can work on that later. When, we do have a water line going out, the 6-inch new main going out there, they can always tap onto. You know, we're not
If there's a
hitting.
development on, off of our
Mhm.
territory, you're
Yep.
saying. Lynn, do you understand that part? 'Cause that's where, I'm not 100% sure, is there a 2-inch line right out there and a 6-inch line?
Hoosier Hills got a 6-inch main.
Oh, so it's Hoosier Hills.
But we got out to the last house on the right
Okay,
of our
so that's our territory.
territory. Then they can always tie off of that if they have to. But we're still able to get over it. A sewer main from Wood Street to East Ripley Street on North Main. Lori sent this today.
Yeah.
I explained it that it has to go out for bids, because we had 2 contractors that wouldn't do it, and I had found one that would. Do they have to approve that
Yeah,
tonight?
I think, well, I don't know if they need to approve it tonight, I don't know what your timeline is, but it was, the total price of the project was of an amount where you have to do the bidding process versus just inviting quotes. So if they table it tonight, does it affect the timeline, or is it something that,
Can she work on getting bids?
no,
No, they have to approve
they
it?
have to approve it?
Well, we got 4 houses that are affected by sewer laterals. That's why the emergency.
So you probably then wanna go ahead and approve the bidding process. The question that, when I was talking to Lori, was obviously if they're preparing bid packets is the expense, so I don't know what you put together for that, but it sounds like you have to do it, as far as it's not a project that can wait,
Right,
and you have to bid it because of the dollar amount.
right. And of course, then we can go from, once we get all that, and go from there as far as how much we can afford.
Correct.
Grants, blah, blah, blah.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, so basically we just need, approval for the bids to start, right?
For the engineering firm, I know it's not Curry anymore, but
Yeah.
whatever their,
LNV,
what is it?
LNV.
Yeah, for LNV to prepare the packages.
What is it, what is this for? It's this email, it's for like a sewer project. Or like sewer, yeah, sewer replacement. You have a copy of this?
You just gave me one.
Okay. And then did you get a copy? Of Lori's email? It came late today.
I probably didn't see
We
it.
were already here.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you. All right,
Alright, so I'll make a motion that we open the bid process and have the LNG start
it's
the bid.
F and B, isn't it?
Yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And then, Bill the maintenance building garage door, I got 2 quotes there.
Yeah, we see those.
If you wanna look over it.
I think the settle one was, one we should go with.
Yeah, I mean, it was 5,400 for that one, and then eight door was $6,400 basically, so settle was $1,000 cheaper. So, I'll make a motion, we go ahead and have settled door to the garage door back on the main building.
All in favor?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. All right, town marshal's report.
61 calls for service, assisted other agencies 12 times, assisted by other agencies 8 times. Had 27 ordinance violations, 1 assisted fire and EMS, 1 bin check conducted, 1 property damage accident, 23 traffic violations, 1 animal problem, 1 missing person report, 3 suspicious person calls, 6 911 calls, 2 criminal mischief reports, 2 warrant services, and 1 trespass call, 1 civil process served, 1 emotionally disturbed call, 1 citizen assist, 4 alarm calls, 27 reserve officer hours, and the handhelds that we purchased, I picked up on Thursday in the process. Or when we set up,
Great. Thank you. So if you look at the agenda, you're gonna see, something new tonight. We're asking the fire department to give their report, as well, moving forward, so they have a report to give. What they've been doing.
Yeah, like I said, this is something new. We're trying to let the community know what's going on. I'll introduce myself. I'm Alex Hooker. I'm the current fire chief up here at Milan Volunteer Fire Department. Got with me Rod Johnson, he's our assistant chief. Just kind of want to give some stats, kind of what happened in July here. We had 14 calls for service. 2 were within the city limits, 6 were in Franklin Township, 8 were in Washington Township. We had approximately 12 hours and 52 minutes on calls for those 14 runs. We had roughly 45 hours of administrative / community service time. Administrative, which was doing fire reports, entering fire reports, getting ready for the dinners and such. Community service, such as the July 4th parade, any call for service, that was needed. So we had our July 4th chicken dinner, great success. Thank everybody that came to that. We appreciate that. We really do. We really enjoyed having that, and it's a good time. We were asked to help with the Landon Cumber golf outing, so we fried chicken for that. We had our golf outing as well. It was a huge success. Thank you, Chris, for helping with that, and thanks to everybody that would put in the team and all the sponsorships. That makes it a huge success, and we'll keep doing that every year. We are tentatively looking at a chicken dinner for October 12th at this time. It's obviously a Sunday, it's the same time, 11 to 2. Anybody has any questions, I'm more than happy to reach out, see me after the meeting. Like I said, this is the first time, so I'm just kind of figuring out what everybody wants to know, and I'll be more than happy to put more information in the report as needed and stuff like that. So we appreciate your support.
Thank you very much. All right, and park board report, Hannah's not here, and Melissa says there's really nothing to report at this point anyway, so we'll move on. All continuing business, airport road, water line. So I guess we need to make a decision on that.
So the one thing to point out, so when Doug was giving his report, he indicated a desire to maybe retain those 2 residents in the event you're able to service them in the future. The current contract does not read that way.
Okay,
So if you want to be able to reserve that right, I need to go back and renegotiate that.
okay,
So if that is a concern, you just need to give me authority to renegotiate it so that you're not losing service territory if you can provide service in the future.
think that's reasonable. We need a motion to that? then? Okay.
I'll second, renegotiate.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, new business.
Debbie, can I ask something about old business?
We will wait until the community can ask questions
Okay.
a little bit. New business account, asking for trash credit for 1 month.
So they, that account actually called in, asked for us to get trash cans. We ordered them. About 5 weeks later, he called, said he still hadn't got them. So we got in touch with Rumpke. Rumpke stated they had delivered them back like 3 weeks prior to that. But he couldn't find it. Doug went out, looked around at some other trailer park areas. He didn't see it.
So this is in the trailer park.
Yeah, so he's wanting a credit. I told him I have to check into it.
So there was, when Doug went, there was no
He
trash.
didn't find anything.
Serial numbers.
Well, we told them to take another one out there and there wasn't, so they were gonna do that, so.
Yeah, do you need us to make that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Credit that.
Account,
Second.
all in favor? All right, a disbursement for, F and V water project.
Yeah, so invoice, 73975 for professional services for $3,000. Just need a motion to pay that.
All in favor? Aye. Another one to F and V,
Yeah. Invoice 74408, $4,000 professional services, again, it's for the water project.
all in favor?
Aye.
Cool.
Then there was a change order for Mike Holman, change order number 3. I just need a motion that it's okay so they can add it to one of the pay apps. And that'll be the same for the next one too, the change order number 4.
So what does that mean?
Hold on a second, I'll tell you. So change order 3 was for, Main Street, some boring, 807 Main Street, same thing, and some tie-ins, a couple of high maxes, and then 507 and 513, on 101. They installed new trailer lines for those trailers there. And then the corner of 350 and 101 and 925 Main Street. They cut the bank down to drain that parking lot.
Doug's nodding his head yes, so. you're in
Yeah.
agreement with all that? All right. Need a motion to approve that?
I'll make a motion to approve the change order 3 and 4 for home. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Purple color. All right, next is Indiana Precast Sewer.
So this is for some, sewer main work on North Main Street. It's just the, materials that they needed for that. $6,093.
Doug's in agreement on that one as well.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Ripley County Economic Development.
Did you say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Interlocal agreement from Edit.
So this is the annual, agreement that we do with the Ripley County Economic Development, where they get 12% of our, edit money that we get.
And And that's
That'll
the
be-
amount,
That's what it was last year.
I gotcha,
So, and then that would come out of our edit fund,
gotcha.
and, that's for 2026.
What's the head fund?
The economic development.
Anyone make a motion?
Would you like to read that?
I guess that's Gary Norman, isn't it?
It is,
Yeah,
yes.
so I would say he's instrumental, he's helping us with the pipe lumber deal, he helps us with a lot of different things when it comes to, maybe Lynn, you can explain it better than I
Yeah,
can.
so basically, the town doesn't have an economic development coordinator at this point. So the Ripley County Economic Development, Corporation, or whatever the formal name is basically to be able to provide somebody as an economic development director for towns who don't have somebody doing that. So basically, and I believe, Roselle's is party to it, Osgood's party to it, Mylan's party to it, I'm not sure who else might be, but
And
basically you share the services and the cost.
Yeah, and I can tell you, I count on Gary for a lot of things, he and I converse at least once a month, if not more, different things, so I feel it's important. It's not a huge amount of money,
So will this amount change every year then?
it'll just be a less, like, probably increase, nothing, it's not very double or anything like that, right?
Yeah, right. It's whatever little increase we get, from the local income tax, then that'll be 12% of that. So if it goes up a little bit, then it, cost of them will go up just a little bit.
It could go down. More than likely, it'll be pretty close to that amount.
Make a motion, just go ahead and hold. Rebuild it.
Okay. Give me a second. All in favor? Alrighty, the 215 West car inspection results for unsafe building, that was the one.
So this is, we received a report from
Is that the
the
great building
investigative
next door?
engineering assistant, 215 West Cars, that's the Allwood,
Yeah,
Allwood
next door.
building, so I'm not,
Yeah.
is it next door?
Yeah.
So we received a report from Investigative Engineers of Cincinnati that basically concluded that the roof soffit and wood siding are in danger of collapse in some areas as the deterioration is significant. It's a safety issue for the public around the perimeter of the building. The interior first floor wood joists are collapsing into the crawl space in numerous areas, deterioration of the floor. And the second floor stairs is significant and unsafe to walk on. The overall condition of the exterior soffit siding, interior floor structure of the house is in poor and unsafe condition. I conclude the building is deteriorated enough to warrant demolition as the wood is too damaged for rehabilitation. So the way, under the unsafe building code, the way that this works is you would issue an order tonight asking the owner of the building to demolish it or else to repair it, to bring it into compliance, whatever you see fit. I have to then give them notice by certified mail, so on and so forth, and we set it for a hearing. They can come in and object, you can either then approve your order, keep your order, you can amend your order, or if for some reason, by some miracle, things have changed, you can rescind your order. So tonight, basically, what we need to do is to go through and figure out how we want this order to read. So I had emailed everybody kind of a proposed draft. So the first thing to decide is whether you want to demolish and remove the buildings on the premises and have the debris cleared, or if you want to bring the property in compliance with building code, or you can give an alternative too. I do know, I believe when they did the investigation, or I think it's Dr. Allward was there, and he was talking about it being a historic building, so I don't think he's gonna go away too easily. So So it might be easier to give him the option to either bring it into compliance or tear it down, because it didn't sound like he wanted to really tear it down if he's considering it a historic building. Bringing it into compliance, though, may just literally be like sealing things up and just structurally making it safe so that it's not a danger to the public any longer. So it's kind of,
So it'd still be an eyesore more or
it
less.
may still be an eyesore, but it would be a safe eyesore.
Mm. Okay. It doesn't sound like there's any help for it from
The report, the recommendation is to demolish it, and when I said, like, when you have the hearing, if he comes in with a plan where he's gonna refurbish it,
Okay,
and all that, you can always amend your order
sure.
for refurbishing, so you can initially ask for demolition right now.
I think we ought to do initially and then see what he decides to do.
Okay, so demolition.
Yep.
The next thing that we need to decide is how long you wanna give him to try to accomplish it, so it's to demolish it and then to clean up the site. So I would think it might take longer than 30 days, but
Well, I mean, with it being historical, I don't know if he has to go through anything to try to save it per se, or anything
I have
like
no
that, so
idea.
don't know.
I don't know, I don't know that it's on like a historical registry or anything like that, it's probably more of just, it's a historic building. We try to save it,
Is that the timeline that we give, is that once we've already met with him, moving forward from there, or once you serve the?
So it'll be from tonight, so to keep in mind is, so when I send these out by certified mail, we all think the mail might be quick, but it's not, it's usually when it's certified. So this was actually, when we were gonna set the hearing date, I was gonna give you this talk, but it helps to give a little bit of time for me to be able to prove that he got notice, get the certified mail back, so 30 days I don't think is a reasonable amount of time, 60 or 90 might be more.
I say at least 90, but I don't know.
I'll make a motion, we'll give him 90 days to try to get something straightened out.
Okay, all in favor?
One more thing to decide. So then this, because you're asking for demolition, you have to have a hearing,
Okay.
where he can be present, he can present evidence, he can have a hearing and all of that. Basically, I kind of act as the prosecutor, you guys are the hearing board, so you're the judges in this. You do not have, you can set it at the same time as your regular meeting in 60 or 90 days, or you can do a special meeting for it, because it could be a lengthy hearing if he's going to contest it.
So you wait until, say, 3 months from now to have the hearing, not necessarily next meeting.
Right, so you could wait to see if he's done any improvements with it.
Okay.
In my mind, I'm thinking 60 days to have the hearing, because by that time it gives him enough time for a plan where, I mean, obviously, he's not gonna have the demolition completed by that time, but it gives him some hearing opportunity. And if he has a plan, then you guys might wanna give him more time, or you might want to consider his plan,
And
or.
of course, if he decided he wanted to come to us the next month's meeting, he could do that as
Sure,
well.
he can always do that.
Okay.
So, but the key thing is like, once you set the hearing, it's a hearing, right? So everybody by agreement can maybe, take it off if he comes before and you've reached some sort of other agreement. But it's not something that you can just like take off the agenda without the whole thing going away.
Right.
Is that something like we'd have to have the hearing whatever month, and then the next month, there would be a vote on whether to follow through, or would it be like, like our public hearings for our ordinances and all that, is that how that works, or?
So they could decide at that meeting what they want to happen, and they can amend the order that we're gonna issue
Okay.
tonight.
Okay.
They can continue the hearing to, if he comes in with this great plan, they can continue the hearing to another date. If you go through the hearing, you issue fact findings in an order, and then you're gonna set it for a review hearing a couple months down to see if he's in compliance. Ultimately, at the end of the day, and I think this is just kind of important to point out, you can't necessarily make him fix it, and what I mean by that is if he refuses, eventually what the town does is you come in, you demolish it or whatever, and then you try to recoup the expenses.
Right.
So, did you wanna maybe set it for hearing in 2 months?
Yeah.
3
that sounds
months, I
good.
mean,
2 months sounds good.
Okay, so it's whatever your date is in
October.
October.
Second Monday, it's the 13th, which is Columbus Day.
Oh, our
Oh.
meeting's the seventh.
That's,
It's the 7th.
that's what happened last
I
time.
know. It sounds familiar, doesn't it? October's popular for trying to
So let's
schedule
do, why don't
meetings.
you do November? You're giving him 90 days, but
Okay.
why don't you do November, and that
And if he
way
wants to come in prior, then
he can come in prior. The other thing, like I said, is you don't have to set it in conjunction with your regular meeting, you can have a special meeting.
Okay.
Do that, so.
You don't think we should?
Do it.
You don't think separate day?
It could be long if he's gonna contest it, so, I mean, I'd have to put on my evidence, they put on their evidence.
Do we just wanna pick a date to have it by and make that a special meeting?
You can do that.
Like the first Monday of November.
Monday, yeah, if I do that, what's the first Monday, November 3rd?
November 3rd.
Is that a holiday or anything?
Nope.
Are you up November 3rd?
Yeah.
Fourth is election.
I'm out of town on the 3rd, yeah.
What about the week before?
On the 27th of October, I'm available.
You are?
27th.
Yeah, I think it works.
So October 27th, 6:30, and then Deb, I'll have you sign this one. Put that today.
That's the hearing, or the
That's the hearing.
hearing, yeah, okay.
So should we make a motion for this, or?
Yes.
Yeah, so I just need everybody to basically approve that we're asking for demolition. We're giving 90 days to have the project completed, and we're having a hearing on this on
10/27, 7, at 6:30.
October 27th at 6:30, special meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Alright, so then next is 107 Clark Street, so that is one that potentially could also, we could proceed under the unsafe building. The investigation on that is $900 last time, and I just thought you guys might wanna approve it before I spend $900.
No, no.
Okay.
Okay. Auto gun for meter reading, replace / update current hardware. Doug, is this you or Melissa's issue?
I don't know anything about it, I just know they're looking at it.
Me too.
They're just gonna get rid of the handheld and get a tablet, and, Austin looked into all this, do you have
I have it, but they, I don't think, maybe they.
There
do.
is a copy right here.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
In this file?
yeah. It should be.
It's like a new auto gun, tablet, and it does its upgrades automatically. The handheld, but we don't do nothing, it's just. Yeah.
What was the cost on, cost?
The cost is $2,034.50. And we'll have to buy a tablet, they don't sell the tablets with this, but he gives us recommendations on which one to buy.
Yes.
That was versus replacing a handheld, which was $12,000, I was told.
Yeah.
So this is obviously,
And he's used this before in Brookfield, water system.
yeah, he recommended we just go with that. He wants to be able to access it, right? Didn't he talk to you how? He mentioned it to you about,
He just brought that in.
I got you. But yeah,
Does that come off board?
yeah.
And there's
Got that written on paper.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
I'll second that.
All in favor? items now. Solicitation for approval for roadblock, Mylan Tribe New Preston.
And they're raising money for equipment and singlets, they'd like to do that on October the 11th.
Dates
from-
available?
Yes, it was, I'm sorry, I got 8 to 12 there, but it's 8 to 11. Sorry about that.
I'll make a motion to approve it. Second. All or everything.
All in favor? Okay, Jamie Brown, Lifetime Resources.
You want me to like come up to the podium? or-
Oh, here.
Yeah.
Sure.
Hello.
As I say, we got your paperwork, I didn't see you.
Yeah,
so-
I just dropped it off when I got here.
I gotcha.
Okay, so, I'm Erin Thomas, Executive Director at Lifetime Resources. Obviously I come and speak to you guys every year. We are the Area Agency on Aging. We provide a variety of services that are basically aimed at helping people maintain their independence and stay in their homes for as long as possible when they a lot of times might otherwise face nursing facility placement. And so our average care plan, for example, is around $659 in comparison to a nursing facility stay, which is over $8,400 for that same month. And so the bulk of the services that we provide are things like homemaker services, personal care attendance, meals. We also provide Catch-A-Ride, which is public transportation available to anyone for any purpose. I'm sorry, I usually give you a pie chart there that shows our actual expense for the county. And we just finished those today and I was not in the office, so apologies, I do have it here though. So Ripley County's budget alone, so we serve 5 counties as the Area Agency on Aging, and then Catch-A-Ride actually extends into a 6th county. And so Ripley County's budget is about 1.3 million. I'm asking for $1,000, which is 0.08% of our actual budget. And so the majority of the funding that we receive come from state and federal grants. And there's a variety of them, and each of them has a different matching component. Catch-A-Ride being the biggest, most expensive program requires 100% match. We do actually collect a fare, for some of our services where it's allowable through the funding source. We have a cost share as well. It's not always allowable, but where it's allowed, we collect as much of a cost share as possible to make sure that, you know, participants are providing what they can for the care as well. We also bring in match through various contracted services. So for example, we are a non-emergent medical transportation provider, and so we have contracts with all of the brokers through Medicaid, managed care, Medicare, that sort of thing. And so this is just one form of local match for us. And you know, of course, we like to have the support of local governments, have you guys aware of who we are, be able to make referrals and that sort of thing as well. So, happy to answer any questions, that you may have.
Same one I ask every year, do you know how many, people you help
Yeah,
out of Milan?
yeah, so Mylan specific data, for example, and this is 2024 calendar year data. For example, we had 94 individuals who received case management services, 18 who attended congregate meal sites, 2 under guardianship, 47 under health and wellness programs, 50 under information and assistance, 34 under transportation for like 720 trips. Those are the major ones, so.
Great question. Anyone have any questions? Okay, we just need a motion to approve, $1,000.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Nice job.
Thank you.
All right. Then I think pipe lumber, so, it's probably been a couple months ago. It was brought up about pipe lumber, their option had expired and they're still interested in purchasing the property. The town had requested that they get 2 appraisals, and they did that, and I've submitted them to you. So if I read this correctly, they're purchasing 11.77 acres. One of the appraisals came back at 200,000,
the other one came back at 208,000. So you have, tonight you just need to accept the appraisals unless you wanna get your own appraisal. And then I would perhaps set it for, executive session to negotiate with them price or the terms.
John, do you have appraisals, you
Yeah.
guys?
I'll make a motion to approve, second, or accept it.
All in favor?
So I had to do that first. Do you wanna go ahead then and try to set an executive session?
Yeah.
And do you wanna do it before your next meeting or do it?
Probably be a good idea, wouldn't it?
I would probably do it the next couple of weeks,
Yeah,
just so.
when I talked to Gary this morning, he was asked maybe this week or next. Yes, he did. Hopefully our next meeting, we're gonna
We're
do
doing the next 2 weeks.
either this week or next, so.
We'll have to go all property out there.
I don't know, it's whatever they have the option on prior.
Monday the eighteenth. Lynn, are you good Monday the eighteenth?
If it's not too early.
What's a good time?
The earliest would be 5:30, so 5:30, 6 o'clock.
5:30 good? That's 10:18. Did you get that one, Melissa? Okay.
It's 5:30.
Yeah, you good with that then, too, then? With 5:30.
And I thought somebody from there would be here.
No, we talked this morning,
Oh,
that's
okay.
what I talked to Gary about.
Okay.
We're gonna approve the appraisal tonight, or not.
Yep, okay.
We'll get our own, decide their own. Okay. All right, that takes care of that. Dave Kelly.
Yeah, that's me. I am a little hard to get up. I wanna take it from. Madam Chairman, I wanna direct this to you and the attorney. The rules that govern these meetings is Robert's rules. I don't know how much you know about them, I know a hell of a lot about them. I conducted over 200 meetings with 700 and 800 people. The first one is, when a person has the floor, like I do now, and Melissa had it last time, you don't interrupt them. You do not interrupt them. You're there to listen. Second and foremost, there's only one person, Mr. Oden, can throw anybody out of this meeting. That's her, the chair. I wanna make sure everybody understands that. You understand, please. I know Lynn does, she's been in this business long enough. What I wanna start with, I've got some problems here. I had 4 people come to my home about the meeting the last time. They were discussing what happened with the police officer and Melissa Tier. We'll start with Melissa. I come in to see her, and the reason I did, I agree that the office should be open 5 days a week. I tried to have a conversation, and here's what I got. We're having a conversation, she said, I'll tell them people I don't even have to be in this office. And pardon my French, I said, stop that shit right now. I said, that's not the way it is. I said, you work for them. They don't work for you. You're not the boss, they are. And then the second time I come in, I'll get to it here in just a second. But I want everybody to understand that office, there's no reason it can't be. Nobody asked anybody to work any more hours. The only thing they asked, her to work Monday through Thursday, off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the other one, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, work the other 4 days, be off. And she said, well, not very many people come in here. I thought, how would you know? It's not open. I mean, that's pretty simple. That's simple math. So now, second time I come in was Thursday, and I come in to find out some information on him. And that had to do with him not answering the call. I wanna know how she knew. I said, how did you know that? We're standing in that hall. She said, I was talking to him. Said, you're standing right where you're at. I said, wait a minute. He's in uniform. He's on call, on duty, in his truck and that, and he didn't answer the call. I couldn't believe it. That's unheard of for any police officer. But I'll get back to finish with Melissa. When she made the comment, that comment, then when I approached her again on Thursday, and I ended up just walking out. When I asked her again, she said, I can tell you I'm not gonna work 70 or 80 hours a week. I think if you do the math, you've got two people working in there. They're not working 70 or 80 hours a week combined together, which is fine. I'm not complaining about the hours. I don't wanna add any hours to it. I'm just a concerned citizen. I want the office open just like this lady, whoever it was. So that's about all I got to say about her. Now I want to talk on the police officer, and this ain't good. First, you have an ordinance that he's supposed to fulfill, him and him only, on the yard work. And it made this town look like a dump. And I want to tell you, somebody must have said something in the meeting. I know they did. Because I've seen some improvement down on the road going to the golf course. I've seen some improvement. So that, he sat there 5 months. They mowed my yard the first time in March. March, April, May, June, July. It was pointed out and depicted very well by her with pictures. What was going on in this town. It was a dump. And it's improving, but it's still in what it should be. So that pretty well takes care of the yards. Second, when he didn't answer the call, I asked her why, the information, she freely gave it to me, which she should. That is unheard of, an officer not answering a call, standing there talking to the clerk, secretary, treasurer, in that hallway. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I couldn't, what if it had been one of your kids, your mother, your brother fell, or one of the kids were hit over 129 for sales? Man got killed in a dump truck. What if they hadn't answered that call? That's unheard of. Third and last, this woman that was accosted in her home. I don't know how much anybody knows about this, but she does. You will when I explain this. Yeah, you're an attorney, you will know. There's no report made.
Dave, you're at 5 minutes.
Pardon me?
You're at 5 minutes now.
Well, Madam President, I'd
We'll
like
give
to
you
speak to
another minute if you can.
Thank you. I want to tell you, he didn't fill out a report. He didn't fill out a report that should have went to the prosecutor's office. He would assigned a detective to investigate this, in which situation it didn't happen. Then that detective would have took it back to the prosecutor, and he would have made a decision. He's the chief law enforcement officer in Ripley County. He made a report whether he wanted to pursue it or deny it. By not doing that, it opened the town up to one hell of a liability suit if it happens again. Because that report wasn't filed. If it was filed, that information then becomes the county's responsibility. It didn't, it's yours. It's our town. Think about what I'm telling you. Yeah. Thanks, Mr. Don't ever interrupt me. I'm an old man.
Thank you for
And it
your,
shows.
Or what?
thank you for your time.
Thank you for listening.
No problem. And
All you folks, I appreciate your kindness, not interrupting me, and I'm out of here.
I will say, as citizen concerns go, you do have a 5-minute limit to discuss your matter. And you can make your point, but we don't want somebody standing there making their point over and over and over. Lynn, do you have anything to add to that?
No, that's by ordinance that you guys have adopted.
Yeah, that's an ordinance, so it's a, that's in place, so, anyhow, all right. Moving on, then, Wanda Ludiker,
Hello, I'm Wanda Ludiker.
come on up here and. I'll try
to make mine short and sweet. I live at 818 Beatrice Drive, and I have a concern over the waterway that runs by our house. This was brought up at the last meeting, my daughter mentioned it. And it's been an eyesore and a problem for many years. We've lived here since 1998 in this house. And it's just getting worse and worse. So I brought some pictures to show you. I don't need an answer tonight. I'm gonna let you look at these pictures and see if there's something you can do to
That would be helpful, because off the top of my head, I can't even think where Beatrice Drive is, to be honest.
Rebel
with you.
subdivision
Oh,
of
okay,
Maine.
yep, yep.
So I'd just like to leave these with you, with the top. The top is a couple of them from a few years ago, the one on the back. If you'd open that up, the one on the back here is what it looks like today. You can't even see, there's another road on the other side, Washington Street, can't even see it for the weeds. This just shows you how it needs dug out and let the water flow, because it backs up on our property, and it's washing away all the dirt from our garage.
So on Sparks here, what do you want done here at Sparks here?
This is just some pictures just for reference.
We went out
We
to
don't need
Sparks
anything
and,
done here.
Yeah,
This is, just showing you some pictures, because Sparks is our neighbor.
yeah, we went out and took care of their water issue, I know, a couple
And,
years ago.
I'm just showing you pictures from where it flows from that bridge past our house to the bridge that I'm talking about that has some problems.
Did they do it?
And then, even on the other side of Washington, Old Washington, we got Old Washington and New Washington.
Okay,
The Old Washington, even from there to Main Street, is a mess. I didn't take any pictures of it, but if you go back and look at this, it's awful. So any help with that would be appreciated.
Property across over here. Once you clean that out,
That goes back towards 350. I don't know anything about what that looks like back there, because it's all woods.
because that creek comes right through here.
Yep, it goes, you got one that comes through there,
Yeah.
and then when you're on this side, you got another one coming through this way. And it all comes past our garage,
yeah,
and it's eroding all the dirt away from our property.
yeah.
It has nowhere to flow. So I'm thinking if we clean this out, and then maybe between Washington and Main Street, it'd help us out a lot, and it'd look better.
Okay, we'll take a look at that. We
Thanks for your
appreciate
time.
you bringing that in. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Melissa Tier, follow up. Yep.
Thanks, Melissa Tier, and I just wanted to check with you guys and see if there's any, follow-up, to see if there's anything, any information you give us on any of the, addresses that was in the packet, that was given you guys last month. There was anything that can be shared?
Do you have anything in particular, the packet? These have dates, but I don't see any addresses per se, so off the top of my head, I don't think I can answer that without having a more specific.
I mowed mine the next day, or the day she took the pictures, so you don't have to worry about that.
Okay,
Which was nonsense, because the weeds were probably about 12 inches tall. You go around the police station and find
do
them.
you have
20
any
inches.
particular properties you can cite? I mean, you.
I mean, more.
Well, what about the computer building or rotors?
I don't remember what we just looked at.
Rotors is in, both of them's in there.
Yeah, there's a list here of, stack here of some properties, if you wanna take a look at those.
Okay, but there's nothing you have that you can share with everybody here that,
Lynn, do we share that information?
So once we get into litigation, we don't share it because then I'm sort of,
technically,
Yeah, but-
by Indiana statute, if you're making a final decision that those are gonna be acted upon, it's supposed to be brought up in a public meeting.
And he
So-
brings those to the meeting,
so actually your ordinance says that it is the town board president that is able to
okay,
give me authority to go ahead and file.
and that's usually what happens,
That's
he
what
brings
it
it to
is.
me, I give it to Lynn.
Okay. And then can I make a statement based on what Mr. Kelly stated?
I guess
I'm
technically it
gonna
was
ask
part of a
for your
meeting, or-
permission. So when Mr. Kelly came in, he asked me how I knew about Terry not replying. And I said, well, he was standing in this hallway. That's the only thing that was said. And then he stated to me that there was 4 people that came to him and asked about the office being open on Fridays. And I said, well, technically, I don't even have to be in here. But, so, his whole jargon of the attitude that he showed, I showed, was not even there. And so I want these people to know that what they heard tonight is really not what happened or what was said. So, if anybody wants to talk to me after this, I'll be more than happy to have a conversation.
So I've got one thing I'd like to ask, Melissa.
Okay?
I know, so the picture you have here is Terry sitting back at the park.
Yep.
And I know that we've asked Terry and Travis and the reserves to, you know, hey, make sure you're patrolling the park because of the vandalism, if I'm not correct.
Yeah, there was vandalism.
So that has been asked of Terry to, you know, make sure the park is being looked after, so I'm not sure why this was taken of Terry. I mean, Terry's doing his job at the park like we had requested, so.
Well, that's actually nowhere near either restroom, and that picture was taken prior to him being asked. So, that's actually behind the,
Entrance by the soccer field,
that
right there
is,
by the softball field.
the girls softball field.
Yeah.
And there's no bathrooms there.
But you can look across the field to see the other bathrooms, is what I'm at.
Oh, well,
So, 3 buildings, what you're saying.
Yes.
but you're not gonna know if there's any damage from sitting there inside the bathrooms. And during, well, yeah.
All right, thank you for your report, and then Alex Hooker, Rod Johnson.
Go ahead, sir.
Thank you.
He gets to talk this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, trade it off.
It's the only time I actually listen to him. Thank you, well, thank the board, community. We couldn't do what we do without the people in this town. So we came to the special meeting, we've been coming to the meetings, and our purpose has been to try to get an increase on our funding. Just gonna run through everything, kind of like what we ran through. Kind of give everybody an idea right quick of how our fire department runs. We are all 100% volunteer at Milan Volunteer Fire Department. Nobody gets paid. The only thing that the membership gets usually is a t-shirt, and that's once every 5 years we can get the chief to buy us one.
Hey.
So, but our fire department on a yearly basis, on average, takes $47,000+ to run. So that's maintenance, insurance, all the bells and whistles. On average, well, not on average, a yearly income from municipal funding, we receive $38,125. So that's a contract with Franklin Township for $8,125, Washington Township for $18,000, the town of Milan for $12,000. So it gives us a total of $38,125 for the year. You back out the $38,125 from the $47,300 on average it costs us to run. That's a $9,175 deficit that we have to cover. So how do we cover that? Chicken dinners. We have 3 main fund drives we do a year. We do 3 chicken dinners per year. We hold a golf outing out at Kelly's Hidden Acres, and then we also do our fall fund drive. That's the letter that y'all get in the mail. That money helps us offset the budget deficiency that we have. So we'd come to the town asking for an increase in our contract. Our oldest, longest serving member on our fire department has been with us for 40+ years, and as far back as he can remember, our contract with the town has been $12,000 per year. We have to look at the future and what we're gonna do to grow or keep our fire department operating at what it is. Now, we are very fortunate. We are a very, very frugal group of individuals. We take our gear for the lifespan of 10 years,
And just to kind of give you a perspective of what we face, 10 years ago, when we bought brand new bunker gear, it was $48,000 to outfit all the members. We just replaced it in 2024 and it was 98,000, so almost a 50% increase. That's just for the protective gear for the members. Projects that we have that we're wanting to tend to, 3 to 5 years, we're wanting to look at building a new firehouse. Fire apparatus is not getting any smaller. We carry more and more equipment day after day. There's always some kind of new rescue tube, air vent, or something that's better for our members to have, so we're gonna try to get it, put it on our trucks. But trucks are getting taller, trucks are getting longer. Our building was built in 1980 by the members, and we've got one truck that when we back it in, you got about this much on each side of the mirrors to get it back in. And then trying to get around it in a hurry, it's not easy. So 3 to 5 years, we're looking at building a new building. We have a water tender truck that we have to replace. Water tenders are running about $425,000. Unfortunately, can't go up to Tom Teepee's and order one. We'll most likely buy a used one, because that's what we do, and that's what we want. But we have some big major expenses that we have to try to get covered. We're gonna keep our fundraising up, like we always do. I think the town would be mad at us if we did away with the chicken dinners. So, we're gonna keep our fundraising up, but we did come and we talked to the town about trying to get a budget increase for our yearly contract. Do you wanna talk about what we?
Well, we basically had a special meeting 2 weeks ago, and they presented all of this then, and we asked them to give us an amount, and that's really what we need you to tell us today, is the amount that you're requesting.
What we have requested is a raise on our contract of $6,000. So it would raise us up to $18,000 per year. That'll put us about $1,000 in the deficit, which, you know, we can still manage. But it helps us, that $6,000 per year helps us take steps further and further to get what we need to get done, so. Good?
That, and then I think, wasn't there an increase for the next?
Oh, yes, see. I've been out in the sun all day, I'm sorry. So what we talked about was increasing our contract from $12,000 to $18,000 with a minimum of a 3% raise per year on the contract. And the fire department will sign a 3-year contract with the county. So that way, and that was your guys' idea, wasn't it?
Yeah, we wanted to talk to Lynn too about it, but that was kind of where we were thinking, typically our budget, and correct me if I'm wrong, Melissa, but typically our budget is budgeted for the following, next coming years, about a 3% increase on items that the funds we appropriate. So you had asked for an increase, and I said we could probably at least do that amount. I don't think we could do more just because of the way the budget usually goes. Is it about 3% across the board for most items?
It's just based on what we've spent, there's really not an increase of any certain percentage amount. But that's probably close. There are, some of the lit that is supposed to be going away, starting in 2027, so just, it's really up to you guys what you wanna do, but just so that you're fully informed.
And
That's
where-
your edit, public safety. Actually, I have it printed out, I forgot to print it out here, but there's 3 or 4 of the, dollar amounts that come in that we won't be getting.
So theoretically, the lit was something that just came about last year.
No, public safety
Public
just came
safety,
about.
was that the one for the police and fire department? And that was a substantial amount, obviously. Made a difference, but we pretty much use it in our budget too, so we were able to do other things. I guess what it boils down to is we were operating, what I was getting at is we were operating without that prior to a year or so ago.
But
So,
it's not just that that's going away, it's your edit money that's going away. And like I said, there's 2 or 3 other ones, but I can't remember what they are.
are they for sure going away?
That's what I was told.
And I think there's some,
So it might just be
Yeah.
something you wanna look at to,
right,
so
and
you
I
understand the
think
dollar
we had
amounts.
talked about that in the special meeting as well, didn't we,
Yes.
as far as, you wanna explain a little bit about what you know about edit?
Yeah, so we refer to it as, it's called the public safety
I'm
tax.
sorry, we're going over the 5-minute timeline, but I feel like it's necessary in this situation.
So, the public safety tax is, this round that was imposed by our county council is expiring in 2027. There is a new House bill, there's actually 2 new House bills on the floor right now that are looking very favorable to be passed in the state, which will provide funding for public safety. It's, and I apologize, I can't remember the House bills, but basically the way it's broke down is that if an incorporated town is over 3,500 in population, which we are not, they can impose their own public safety tax. Or if it's under 3,500, it is imposed by the county. So the public safety tax is expiring on this round, but it looks very favorable to be coming back because it has been very, very helpful for towns and communities around the state, so.
So Rod's saying that the county will pick up some of that, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
So that's a possibility, is kind of what was discussed, so I just wanted to make you, I don't know if you had heard that or not, but we don't really know, it's a, but we're only talking $6,000.
Yeah, like I said, that's your guys' decision, I don't,
Right, but I'm just
If-
saying, just in the big
Yeah.
scheme of things, it's, we're talking $6,000, so.
I just don't think I would be a good steward of the money if I didn't try
Yeah.
to explain that to
No,
you.
I agree, I appreciate that too. You guys have any questions? One of the things that we had talked about too in the special meeting was, doing a kind of a temporary, cause you have a truck fund.
Correct.
Okay, can you talk a little bit about, it's technically called a truck fund, but it's not necessarily just a truck fund.
Yeah, so we operate the fire department on 2 basic bank funds. One is our truck fund. What our truck fund is if we have a catastrophic failure with one of our trucks. If we have to go to replace the pumping unit off of a truck today, we're looking at $50,000-$60,000. We also run a general fund. But one of the things that we do with our truck fund is, remind me how much our truck fund is?
Right now,
Yeah,
we're right at 100, but we have it in the CD, so it's
Okay,
right
yeah.
at 104.
so we keep about $100,000 in our truck fund for if we have to buy another truck. But we have that money invested into interest-bearing CDs with Napoleon State Bank right now, and we earn the interest off the CDs, and that helps us draw in some money. So we can get it if we need it. It's not, locked up for 6 months or whatever, we just lose the interest if we pull it out. So that's what we had kind of talked about, was the town will still issue us the $12,000 that they issued us now, and then $6,000 for fire department use will be retained and would be in possession of the town, and then if the fire department needed it, if we go in, like one of the projects we're looking at is replacing some extrication equipment, that's a $45,000 ordeal to replace that, so we fall $6,000 short, then we can reach out to the town and, obtain that $6,000.
And the reason the town's gonna hold the money, Versailles does something similar, I believe.
Yeah.
Where they disperse so much, you guys put it to your use, and then it has to set aside when they need something catastrophic or whatever happens. That way the town can earn some interest also on that money, so town's earning a little bit, they're getting more, it's kind of a win-win for everybody. So, that was our
What was the last
conversation.
thing you talked about? You needed a fund, that last thing, $40,000?
Well, we are in the process of replacing extrication equipment. That's what we cut the cars open with when they're car
Oh,
wrecks.
Okay.
And new
okay.
extrication equipment for the style that we're running.
Extrication, that's what
Extrication,
I
yes.
didn't hear it. Thank you,
You're
thank
welcome.
you.
All right, so that's kind of where we're at. We need to figure out a contract to Lynn with them. And over the next 3 years, with that 3% increase, at those splits as well. So, if you guys are okay with those amounts? Oh, that's right. Very good. It's 12,000 like we normally do, goes to them.
That's, you said something about split.
The $6,000 will stay with the town, but you'll keep it separate for them.
Gotcha.
We can, that way, and then they'll gain 3% interest on those amounts each year.
Can you put our 6,000 in the mason jar? It just makes me always feel better that my money's in a mason jar.
So if anybody has any questions about the operation of the fire department, how we do things, what we're about, how you can become a member, Alex and I'll be here for a little bit after the meeting, please feel free to come and ask us. It's your guys' fire department, you're always more welcome to learn anything about it you need to know. And thank you, we appreciate your time.
Thank you. So you made the motion, I will second, all in favor, unless you got what you need. And then you have what you need for,
I need their contract, that's my email.
all right, that sounds good. All
So
right,
just to make sure I got,
so wherever we get the 12,000 normally,
yeah,
We'll
plus the
go.
6.
we'll go to them, and then the 6 will hold
Yep.
until they need it.
Yep, okay.
And then in 3 years, the contract can be renewed or start over, or whatever, with another amount, whatever.
That 6,000, keep adding every year, so 3 years I'll have 18,000 in that fund.
Great.
At 3% interest
Plus 3% interest.
for the 6 or the 18?
Both. So, okay, Chris Kelly.
2 items here, I'll try to make it real quick. First item on Airport Road, I appreciate you guys tabling that last month, and the reason why there's more to the story that you need to look at than just disconnecting and then letting Hoosier Hills come in. One of the biggest things is there's 160 acres out there, it's all open field. Both of those farms had sold this year. Now, the families that bought them are farmers, they're not looking to develop them, they're not looking to lot them off. But what happened is, the families that owned it, like the Volk family, probably had it for 90 years, you know what I mean? The Roig family, they've had it for 20 years. The sentimental value is gone, so after the next go around and it goes up for sale again, it's gonna be subdivided. Our town has no direction to grow except for that side. We can't go, well, I mean, we could go west if we need to, but more than likely we're going east on Airport Road if everything balances out. So when you make your decision, when Lynn starts negotiating and doing what she does, what I'm asking you guys just kind of buckle in real tight and just don't fold this over, because it's important to this town that we grow. If we don't start growing, we're dead, and that's the bottom line. Second thing, I don't even know how to address this, I'm not for sure what it's called. So we're gonna talk about the building next door, 215 West Carter Street. For the last 10 years, I've heard lawyers, let's beat them down, let's go. Man, we have spent so much money as a town fighting this guy. He has spent so much money as a doctor or whatever fighting back. This is a suggestion. I'm just throwing it out there. Have you guys thought about getting a middleman where it's not political? Going and talking to him, saying, hey, let's get an appraisal. Let the guy get an appraisal. The building's literally falling down. It's not worth nothing. They may come in and say it's worth $100,000. Now, the town don't have the money to buy it. It's common sense. You know what I mean? So what do? We negotiate a deal. We take this appraisal, he gives the property to the town, you give him a tax, what would that be called, Lynn? Like a certificate to where he can write off on his taxes.
Oh, donation,
A donation, he gives the donation, then he can take the $100,000 donation and write off his personal taxes or business taxes, whatever he's got. Maybe something like that might fly and get this deal over with, because this thing's been going on for 10 years, and it's just an area to kick around. I'm not saying you need to go do it. It's just an option, you know what I mean? And I don't feel like it's been an option that's been
Consider.
taken to the next level with him. Because I don't know the guy, I've never met him, but I'm sure he's defensive every time he gets something in the mail. You know what I mean? If you guys can find somebody neutral, and I know you've already voted on it to get the thing started, but it doesn't mean somebody sees their call to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
See if he'll accept, get an appraisal, bring it to you, donate it to the town gives him a certificate, he writes it off his taxes, maybe the town can pay to tear it down. you're saving on lawyer's fees, he's saving on lawyer's fees, and a piece of shit out of the way. It's that simple, you know what I mean? Just an option, so. that's all I
Something to
got.
think about, appreciate that. The only thing I wanna talk about or mention about the property, I think boils down to the territory of whether it's town of Milan, territories, water, or Hoosier Hills.
Right,
And
right.
Lynn can tell you about that a little bit.
So water utility territories are kind of protected where one party can't invade another. So like when you're talking about annexation, we might be able to annex it, but we may not be able to provide water. So that's.
But we have water there now, don't we?
Yeah, but they do too, obviously, or they
But
wouldn't be
that
able to
line
do
was
the
originally
contract.
put in for just a
So I'll talk to you
transfer
about that.
station, just the looping, the reason that line was put in is to loop, not to sell off of. When that line was originally put in, when they were in our territory.
I don't know, John, is there any documentation on that?
We'd have to go to Larry Eaton, I guess, I don't know. I've been doing it too long.
All right, some good things to think about, appreciate that. Now we'll take comments on agenda items from the public.
I just wanted to know if you found anything about the trash for the churches.
Yes, we did. I talked to both companies, Bestway and Rumpke. Neither one do a free service to churches. What they did was they had the town absorb, meaning that the town people absorb those costs. So if you want, let's just say there's 10 churches for an even number. If there's 10 churches, and 10 trash cans going to those churches, the town has 300 accounts. Rumpke or Bestway will bill for 310, and that is divided up between the 300 residents or customers. So that's who absorbs. That's how it was done in the past. So it wasn't technically a free trash pickup for churches. Problem is too, if you start doing churches, then you're looking at all the other nonprofits we have as well. So you can open a whole can of worms.
Okay, and I got one more question. In front of my house, they put a new, water line in. I've got a section of concrete that's been taken out, and there's gravel there. I know Doug had mentioned that they was doing a punch list last month. There's sidewalks across the street on, 3 different pieces of property they weren't the best sidewalks, but they were sidewalks.
Right.
That was removed, and they've never been replaced. It was done under the water contract, so I would think that the water contract should be the one to put them back, instead of waiting for you to put a grant in to get sidewalks put in, when it should have been figured in that bid for what Mike Holman done.
We can take a look at that.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Not today.
Okay. All right. Yes, Holly.
Hey, I wanted to ask about, at the last meeting, I asked about the car maintenance place on Mill Road. And I noticed 2 days later, they did
I noticed that too.
put,
the fence.
work on that
Yes.
fence, but they only put it around the front of the building, and
Yeah.
what about the whole back part where most of it is?
Right.
Is that going to be addressed, or
Yes, it is. I believe it's one of our, yeah, it's been addressed.
it has been
It
addressed
has been addressed.
So they
it's in,
are-
it's in the process of what we have to do as far as
to make
the
him put it?
situation.
Okay,
Yeah.
just wanted to check, thank
Yeah,
you.
Thank you. Sally?
If anybody was interested in that executive meeting on 7/28 that you had with the fire department, that's on YouTube, and that was really informative. I mean, you got
Executive special.
on
Special
7/28?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, it explains everything that you talked about with the fire department and everything, so, and actually, I can hear that better.
We moved the
On you?
iPad.
Yeah,
So
I
it's in a
mean-
new location instead of the back corner.
Yeah.
So hopefully that
We,
helps.
we did that for you.
I did that just for you. I need to sit in the front row. But, and maybe you to address this when Melissa was up there and I didn't hear it. The two buildings, the one, the computer building and the one by the Methodist Church. Was that what the $900 you were talking about?
Yes, the inspections have to be done to
So
get the
we-
process going.
Okay, all right, okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Yes, can you state your name?
Oh, yeah, Casey Drigger. So I created kind of a group and reached out to a lot of the people that needed help in the community cleaning their properties. There was zero response. I had contractors to donate materials, laborers, people with weed eaters, mowers, you name it. And no one wanted the help. So I would say going forward, to make things easier on the town and get it cleaned up, just start making them pay. Like, they have free help every opportunity and they don't want it, so.
Yep, and we appreciate you all doing that. I
Of
saw that
course,
too,
of
and
course.
it's the same with our community cleanup week every May. We have nobody request help anymore for that either, so.
They must have the money to pay, I mean.
Right, so, thank you. Anybody else?
I have a yard that is so ugly yet. I really have 3 complaints, but nobody can do anything about 2 of them. They were working out in the front yard, and they were doing fine with my trees. He just kind of flicked them out of the way, the leaves, when he was digging out there with his contraption. Well, when I came back, they had cut a limb off of each tree. And I mean, it's bare there now. The sun comes right through my window, and I don't like that, but I can't do anything about that. But I just wanted to know that, to me, they wouldn't have had to do that at all. It was not in their way. But anyway, the next thing, I wanted to know what.
That would've been molded when they did the water line in front of our house.
I mean, he said, well, it was bothering me when he was digging in the yard, but when I was there watching him, it wasn't bothering me. But when I came back, it was gone, both limbs. The other thing is, I couldn't figure out why there's a hydrant in the middle of my yard when there was one on the corner over there. Why they had to put one in the middle of the yard. Is there an answer to that?
The water line was moved back toward your house more.
Could they at least put it over in the corner more? Couldn't they made a little jog there or something? Okay,
Is it
so
on your
that
property
can't,
line?
okay, so that can't be fixed, that's okay, that's over.
Is it on your property
I've
line?
accepted that. And not once did I complain about anything they were doing, like everybody else in the town that was having problems where on Facebook was complaining. But now I'm gonna complain, because they came in the front yard this way, then they went this way, which was fine. But they never put any grass seed in that area there. If they did, it did not grow. There was no straw there or anything. But when it rained, all of that mud came down, and it's in my driveway now, at the bottom of my driveway, it's thick with mud. If you go past it, you can see it, I got pictures of it. So when it rains now, all I've got is a mud puddle out there, a mud hole. So every time I go in my garage, I take that mud in there with me. And I'm not able to clean that out, and I think Holman should come and have to clean my driveway out down there. And they also should have to put grass seed in there so I don't get any more mud on my driveway.
Doug, can we take care of getting some grass seed down and then?
Yeah, they had one that, whatever reason why the grass didn't grow with it. we
How
had it
come
with
they never
Mr.
put any straw on it, not one time? I think they scattered one a little bit, but that was all. They didn't put much, if they put seed down there, why didn't they come back and did it? They did Jan's. They come back and did Jan's. Then when they come back a second time and dug between the 2 driveways, where we got gravel there, there's a great big dip there where they didn't put enough gravel in there.
Okay, that's when they did Joe's,
Yeah, when they did across the road and they
I
come
think
over
that's where
there.
a lot of your mud came from, cause that was a muddy mess.
No, the
up
mud
there.
came from my yard.
And then it rolls down.
It came down, and every
Right.
time it rained, all that mud came into my driveway. And I can't get it out, and I don't expect my kids to dig all that out of there either. I can't do it, but I think you guys shouldn't have to do it. I think Holman should have to come and do it.
we'll get it looked
They
at.
will.
We'll get it
They're,
looked at.
they're coming in tomorrow,
Okay.
and they got that back,
And I think they
and they
need
can
to
back that out.
bring a little bit of gravel there for that dip, that hole that's between
The two.
my driveway and Ed's driveway.
Okay.
I would
Right.
appreciate that. And more grass seed.
Grass seed?
Yep.
Don't need tilled up or anything like that?
Yeah, well, it should be tilled up, but I don't care, just so it grows and looks like it used to.
Okay. They're coming in and pounding.
Because it's on the side plus in the front.
All right, they'll be here tomorrow, so we'll have them address that.
Okay.
All right.
Okay,
Anybody
thank you.
else?
More strong.
Yes.
On October 27th, the hearing for the green building, is that for the public, or is that a closed meeting, or what?
That would be public.
Public hearing?
Yeah, the public.
Okay.
Anybody else?
And one more, the Holman's, the change order number 204, what was that for? Where was that at? And did I hear him say something about take water out of the parking lot? To drain the water off of the parking lot? By the trailers or something?
I don't remember that.
Was that the drain?
I thought he said a drain or something. Order
Oh,
number
is that
3 and 4.
She said they cut a hill out.
Oh, that was behind Rooster, Rolling Rooster. They cut that down.
That's
they
the
did.
hill.
So it can run off of the road. So we can, that's,
But the state came in and did ours, but they did an awful job, and I called, they called and asked me how I liked it, and I told them that it was worse now than it was before, but they're supposed to come back and finish. So Holman did hers, the Rolling Roosters?
yeah, cause we put the water line there.
It's
That
on
was in
this,
their easement.
where the dumpsters are over there, where that tree was. It's over there where that little shed is, what, they cut that hill out, cause there was like a valley there that laid wet. So they just leveled it all the way out.
So it sits in the other yard. I mow their grass, so I know it sits there.
Yeah.
So they put it from her yard to the next one over.
No, that tree was there or something because there was a hill in that yard.
Well, up front on North Main Street, the water sits right there in the neighbor's yard from Rolling Rooster.
Right, but they didn't even go that far.
All right, last call. All right, group,
Make a motion to adjourn.
all in favor?
Thank you. Doing well. Doing well.
How old are you? I'm 45. I went to Miami in classes.
Okay, yeah.